What's up, y'all? It's your girl Kiamani, and I'm back at it again with another video. And as you can see, we're making a coat today. I am a little bit behind on the 25 days of sewing, but of course I'm gonna make it up to you because you know I'll with you, okay? Just a little, not a disclaimer, but like a side note. That coat that I had went viral on not too long ago, the pink blanket coat, this is the exact same technique that I used for that coat. So just because it doesn't look the same doesn't mean it wasn't the same. I just used a different material. Like, I gotta give you a whole look. You dig. Look how cute. Look how cute. And we made it out of a blanket. Let's get right into the video. What you want to start off with is your batting. I got this batting from Walmart. I think this whole bag was only like $10 maybe. And we're going to start out by laying this flat on a surface. Next, you want to get a jacket or a pattern that you already made. A jacket is going to be probably easier for you to use. That's why I always use older clothes. And you just want to trace a outline of each piece that you need to cut out. So I'm starting off with the sleeve, and I extended my sleeve down longer than this jacket just because I wanted the sleeves to be very oversized. So here we've got the big part for the sleeve, and what I did was I traced one side of the sleeve, and then you just flip it over along the seam so you don't have to sew up two ends of the sleeve. It's just gonna be one, and I'm cutting it just like so, and it looks really big, but honestly it's not. It's just because you see how I flipped it over. You just want to trace all of the other pieces you need to cut out. So you need a back panel, you need two front panels, and then you need another sleeve, and you also need a hood if you're going to attach a hood. And it's easy for you to see how many pieces you need by how many seams you have on the jacket. So just use that as a guideline, and it's super simple. Here I'm just showing you all of the pieces. We have two sleeves, a back panel, two front panels, and then the hood. This is the blanket that I will be using. I got this from Home Goods. I ended up using two, and they were only $30 a piece. After that, you just want to cut out those exact same pieces you cut out with your batting with the fabric. I did mark 4-inch spaces on the back panels, the sleeve, and the front panels because I did kind of want to have a bubble effect, and it's easier for me to just draw a line on it when I'm sewing it so the lines will be straight or whatnot. But here We have the piece of batting and also the fabric piece. For each piece of batting that we cut out, you need to have a matching piece of fabric to go along with it. The very first thing that you want to do is you want to sew down your lines on your front panels, back panel, and sleeves. And with the blanket that I used, once I cut the piece, it was already an extra piece of fabric attached to it. So this just saved me time because I did not have to make a lining for the inside of my jacket. But if your blanket is not like that, you may want to consider making a lining. Just so, I mean, especially if you are wearing it for comfort and not just fashion, you want to be warm, make sure you are sewing a lining in the inside. Here's another thing that I like to do to make sure my lines are straight. I'll pin where I want the line to start. If you look very close at the bottom of this piece of fabric, there's pins there. And then I'll take a measuring tape and some scissors, and I'll kind of just draw a line with the scissors. You could use tailor's chalk or whatever, but I feel like I find it easier to use the scissors because if once you're done sewing, you could just like literally wipe the fabric, like wipe the line away, because it's not really wrote with anything or like no ink or anything. It's just kind of an indentation in the fabric, and it's really easy and fast. So yeah, again, I did space these out about 4 inches, but you can pick and choose how far apart or close together you want the spaces to be. And here, this one already has like little stuffing at the bottom just because I was trying to test out to see how puffy it was going to be. And it was perfect, so don't mind mine already being like that at the bottom. Once you've done your spaces and added your lines, you just want to stuff the fabric. I don't like to stuff mine a lot because I don't like it super bubbly. I think it kind of looks stupid. But I mean, it's really up to you how full you want your coat to be and how puffy you want it to be. But I decided to not make it as puffy this time because it already is fur, so it will already have a full look. Once the coat is stuffed, you just want to fold your sleeves in half. So sandwich them two together and just sew up the open end of your sleeves. And you do that to both sleeves. After that, here are all the pieces stuffed and sewn down. At this point, it's super easy. The only thing you have to do is kind of like a puzzle and you put the pieces together. A lot of people was asking me about that coat that I had went viral on not too long ago. It was like a pink blanket coat. This is the same exact technique that I did. So if you're wondering how to make that, this is exactly how I made it. It was just different material. And I showed you here, this is how I attach my front panel. So you just want to sit it on top of each other. Make sure you all are sewing inside out. And yep, the front panel is done. Now both front panels and the sleeve is done. I'm going to show you how I attach my sleeve. The sleeve is kind of the hard part, especially when the coat is kind of puffy. You want to make sure you pin the sleeve first and then sew, especially because it's a lot of layers and you don't want to miss any layers. So make sure you're pinning it first. Where I attached the hood, I think my phone like cut off or something because I don't have that portion in there. But I'm just gonna make a separate video for how I do my hoods because I don't think I've ever shown you. So the hood part is not on the video, but we are doing 25 days of sewing, so one of these videos will have a hood and fur on it. So don't mind me. But this was the very last piece that I had to do, and sis, she was lit.